Kevin is, I think we already announced he's not playing in Game 1. His next step is individual court work. So that, that will be the next priority over the next couple of days, and hopefully he can ramp that up. And then he's going to have to practice. We have to see him in practice before he can play a game, and he hasn't practiced yet. DeMarcus has done an amazing job coming back from the injury, which we felt at the time was season-ending, and so he's done an incredible job of rebounding, rehabbing, and now here he is. He's scrimmaged a couple times this week. He's pain-free, so it's really more a matter of rhythm, timing, and conditioning, all those things. I think I mentioned the other day, if this were the regular season, I'd throw him out there and he'd play whatever minutes he could tolerate, and we'd build him up from there. Toronto's always been a favorite city of mine, and I think a lot of people in the NBA. It's a great crowd. I can understand, we can feel how important this is to the whole country. But in terms of how Kawhi has grown, I don't know, he was Finals MVP in 2014. So 5 years later, he's probably a little bit older and wiser. He's definitely older. I think he's wiser. I think he's seen more. As you get older in your career, you especially as a great player like he is, you see more and more coverages. You see how different people play. So he's probably a little more rounded as a player, more aware of how teams are trying to play him. But no matter how you slice it, he's been a superstar in this league, one of the top few players in the game for 5-6 years now. Actually, when you watch Kyle, as he's a leader and he's tough, physically and mentally, and I think he's in a perfect role where he can lead without having to be the best player. They have the continuity now of having this team around him, and then you add Kawhi, the superstar, and now I think Kyle can be in the perfect role for himself and for his team, which is point guard, leader, and he can step up and have big games when he has to, but he's not relied on for that scoring night in and night out. And so it seems to me he's really thrived this year with Kawhi next to him.
I would say just this entire year has been kind of wild for us, chasing the same goal but doing it, a lot of noise around us, and to be able to start here in Toronto against a different opponent in our fifth straight finals creates a great edge for us, and I like the energy that we're coming in with for Game 1. We know the crowd's gonna be crazy, and for us it's a great opportunity to go out and just give her 110%, and I look forward to coming back here every regular season, and now to be in the finals. Something I honestly been looking forward to if they ever made it. So it's here, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I mean, he's tough. Obviously, he's been playing amazing this whole playoff run and really all season. He's always at his own pace and never seems to get rushed or be in a hurry. He's obviously physically gifted and strong and can get to his spots, but he's become a really good shooter. When he gets even off the dribble, getting to a spot, rising up. And his counters are pretty solid too. You take one thing away from him, he can shift directions, try to get a shoulder by you, get into the paint. And he uses the entire floor really well. So for us, knowing, like you said, we have some beyond capable defenders to guard him. It's going to take on that one-on-one challenge. It's going to be important, but it's also, like we always say, and what we always do when we're executing, at a high level, it's all 5 guys being on a string, being able to send help and rotate, and they have shooters as well that you got to be aware of. And as of late, in the Milwaukee series, some guys got hot and played off Kawhi really well. So you want to make it as difficult as possible on them. And all the other guys who are helping and rotating, try to take away their threes and rebound the basketball and make him defend on the other end as well. I mean, he's tough and scrappy and just a high IQ, basketball player that, in terms of just, he's always seems to be in the mix. Whether he's taking a charge or getting a loose ball or getting a steal or knocking out a big shot. And I know he's heard a lot of noise throughout these playoff runs here in Toronto, trying to get over the hump and whatnot. But he's just a very solid basketball player that knows how to play the game.
I've been a Drake fan since I was in high school. He's a great artist. Do I like him as a Raptor fan? No, but I like him as a musician. He's extremely talented, but I will definitely skip this song if I don't like it. And if it's one of his soft, R&B songs, I'm gonna skip it because I'm in kill mode right now. I'm trying to get these 4 games, so I'll skip Hotline Bling, and they're here for a reason. So you can't take them lightly just because they haven't been here before. So they have our respect, and we'll come correct tomorrow.
But before you can ever reach anything, you have to believe it. You don't just mistakenly become great at something. You probably at one time or another, believe that you can be great at that. And then you work to get great at that, and you reach that greatness. But you don't mistakenly become great. And then you start to believe, oh man, I'm great at that. No, you believed that before, and you work to get that. I mean, Kyle, I got mad respect for Kyle. A friend, first off. We won a gold medal together. And Kyle is a guy who got it out the mud. He wasn't always an all-star. He wasn't always a starter, but he got it out the mud, and he's where he's at today. He's faced a lot of doubt. He's been criticized a ton this year and previous years before. But yet, he's still standing and he's here in this moment, and it's well deserved. I have to bring that emotion to the table. That's my job. That's the reality of it. But yet, it's something that I enjoy. It's a role that you don't get nights off. You're going to have off nights shooting. You're going to have nights where you turn the ball over. You're going to even have nights where you don't get as many rebounds. You don't get off nights as an emotional leader, and if you do, the ramifications, they're not good. I wouldn't necessarily say he's not dominant because he just dominates the game. And so I think the challenge with Kawhi is it doesn't look the same. When Steph dominated the game, Kevin dominated the game, Damian Lillard dominated the game, LeBron dominated the game. It does not look the same as when Kawhi is dominating the game. And so it can fool you to just say well, we can just guard him this way, or we can do this, or we don't have to put too much focus into him. We still gotta, because it doesn't look the same. It's not as pretty. But boy, is it effective.